एक
This
मिनट
is
एक मिनट हाँ स्टार्ट.
so shall I start now? Good afternoon to all of you. This is Princy Shirvastava of BBA 6th semester section C along with my group members. Tulika, please share the screen. Tulika Singh, Saloni Kumari, Tanya Hassan and Suman. Now I'm going to start what is international trade. This involves the exchange of goods or services between countries. International trade is described in terms of two forms. The first one is export, which is the good or services sold to other countries. And the second one is imports, which means the good or services brought from other countries. Now the countries trade good because on country has all the resources which is necessary to efficiently produce everything in its people need. Next slide please. Now there is a quotation for trade restriction. The quotation is that the first lesson of economics is scarcity, which is there is never enough of anything to fully satisfy all those who want it. The first lesson of politics in is to disaggregate the first lesson of economics, and it is wrote by Thomas Sowell. Next slide, please. Now, I will define what is trade restriction. A trade restriction is an artificial restriction on the trade of goods and or services between two or more countries. It is the byproduct of it is the byproduct of protectionism. The trade is controversial because what one part may see as a trade restriction, another may see as a way to protect consumers from inferior and harmful or dangerous products. They arise from the rules and regulations governing trade, either from home country or host country or intermediary. Trade restriction or barriers are man-made obstacles. Next slide, please. Now, there is objectives of trade restriction. The first one is to protect home industry from foreign competition, and the second one is to promote new industry and R&D activities. The third one is to conserve foreign exchange reserves. Fourth one is to maintain favorable balance of trade and payment position. Fifth one is to protect national economy from dumping. Sixth one is to curb conspicuous consumption. Seventh one is to mobilize additional revenue through heavy duties on import. And the eighth and the last one is to encourage the use of domestic production. Now Suman will proceed through.
Types of trade restrictions. The first one is physical trade barrier. Um, Natural barrier can slow down trade between nations by making it harder and more expensive to move goods from place to place. Border blockades, demonstration, or attacks on trucks can obstacles to trade and cause serious economic losses. EU countries are required to notify the European Commission in advance of major events such as demonstrations or roadworks that could negatively affect trade. The regulation 2679 upon 98 aims to help apply the principle of the free movement of goods quickly and efficiently. The physical trade barrier are structural obstacles in natural or man-made environment that prevent or block mobility moving around in the environment or access. Example of physical barrier includes steps and curbs that block a person with mobility impairment from entering a building or using a sidewalk. Mammography equipment that requires a woman with mobility impairment to stand. absence of weight scale that accom- accommodates wheelchairs or others who have difficult stepping up. Like examples, the Sahara Desert makes it extremely hard for countries in northern Africa to trade with the rest of the continent. Next slide, please. Voluntary export restrictions. VER are a form of trade barrier by which foreign firms agree to limit the quantity of goods exported to a particular country. They became persuaded in the US government in 1980s when the US government persuaded foreign exporters of automobiles and straight to agree to limit their export to the US. For example, the United States had pursuing many other countries to accept quotas limiting their exports of goods ranging from sweater to steel. Thank you very much. I would like to invite Saloni.
So I will continue with the topic. What is tariff? So tariff is a duty or tax imposed by the government of a country upon the traded commodity as it crosses the national boundaries. Tariffs are used to restrict imports by increasing the price of the goods and services purchased from overseas and making them less attractive to the consumer to protect the domestic firms. Tariffs are led on the imposed to generate revenue. Sometimes tariff is led for some of the important products of the country. Next, what is tariff barriers? So, tariff barrier is the tax or a duty on the products that are moved across the boundaries. The most importance of tariff barrier is the custom duty by imposing on goods. Sometimes tax might also be imposed on importing products. The most important tariff barriers are specific duty. Specific duty is based on physical characteristics of goods. When a fixed sum of money, keeping in view the weight, keeping in the view of weight and measurement of the commodity. The value of product is not considered. The kind of tax system is applicable for barrels of oil. Next is ad valorem duty. These duties are imposed according to the value. When a fixed percentage of value of a commodity is added as a tariff is known as ad valorem duty. In ignorance the weight, volume, or size of the commodity. This kind of duty is applicable for artworks, ornaments, jewelries, etc., where the value of the commodity is not fixed upon the size and weight of the product. Third is combined or component duty. The combination of both a specific rate or duty is an ad valorem duty, rate of duty, whereas specific duties are based on factors such as weight or quality. Ad valorem duties are based on value of the product, also called mixed duty rate. Fourth is sliding scale duty. Sliding scale fees are variable prices for products, services, or tax based on customers av- available to pay. Such fees are thereby reduced by those who were lower income. These type of pricing has effect of separating out the custom consumption of goods and services. Otherwise, it may reduce consumption for the wealth. These type of duties are imposed in such as on medicines, etc. Fifth is countervailing duty. It is imposed on certain imports where products are subsidized by exporting country. As a result of government subsidy, importers become more cheaper than domestic goods. By neutralizing the effect of subsidy, the duty is imposed is addition to the normal duties. Sixth is revenue tariff. A tariff which is designed to provide revenue to the home government is called revenue tariff. Generally, a tariff is imposed with the view of earning revenue by imposing duties on consumer goods, particularly on luxury goods, where, where the demand is inelastic. Seventh is anti-dumping tariff. At times, importers will sell their goods at extreme low price to capture the market. Is called dumping. As the result of these, domestic companies will find it difficult to survive. So the government will put imposed anti-dumping tariff on such dumped products. Eighth, protective tariff. Protective tariff is enacted with the aim of protecting the domestic industries for the foreign competitors. It is the tax added into goods imposed into a country. Protective tariffs are tax that are entitled to increase the cost of the foreign imports and make them less attractive to the consumers. So now my colleague Tanya Hassan will continue with the topic non-tariff barriers.
Good evening. After tariff, there comes non-tariff barriers. So, basically, a non-tariff barrier is any barrier other than a tariff that raises an obstacle with the free flow of goods in the overseas market. Non-tariff barriers do not affect the price of goods. So, we can define a non-tariff barrier as any obstacle to international trade that is not an import or export duty. They may take the form of import quotas, subsidies, custom delays, technical barriers, or other systems preventing or impeding trade. For example, even though Turkey is in a partial custom union with the European Union, transport of Turkish goods to the European Union is subject to extensive administrative overheads that estimates cost it 3 billion euros a year. So, with the exception of export subsidies and quotas, non-tariff barriers are most similar to tariffs. Tariff for goods production were reduced during the 8 rounds of negotiations in the World Trade Organization and the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. After lowering of tariffs, the principle of protectionism demanded the introduction of new non-tariff barriers such as technical barriers to trade. So here are some important non-tariff barriers. So the first one is quota system. In this system, the country will fix in advance the limit of import quantity of a commodity that would be permitted from various countries during a given period. This quota can further be divided into 4 points that are tariff or custom quotas, unilateral quota, bilateral quota, and multilateral quota. Next point is product standards. So, most developed countries impose product standards for imported items. The imported item must be in the expected standard. Next point is domestic content requirement. So, when a foreign company makes products in a country, the materials, parts, etc., that have been made in that country rather than imported, a minimum level of local content is sometimes a requirement under trade laws when giving foreign companies the right to manufacture in a particular place. Next comes product labeling. So certain nations insist on specific labeling of the product. For instance, the European Union insists on product labeling in major languages spoken in European Union. Next comes packaging requirement. Some countries ask for specific kind of packaging material. For example, EU insists on recyclable packing materials, otherwise the imported goods may be rejected. Next is consular formalities. So, a number of importing countries demand that the shipping document should include consular invoice certificate by their consulate stationed in the exporting country. Next is straight trading. The imports are and exports are not allowed to import or export canalized items directly on their own, like MMTC for India. Next is preferential arrangements. A trade pact between countries that reduces tariffs for certain products to the countries who sign the agreement. While the tariffs are not necessarily eliminated, they are lower than countries not party to the agreement, and it is a form of organic integration. Next is foreign exchange regulation. The imports has to ensure that adequate foreign exchange is available for import of goods by obtaining a clearance from exchange control authorities prior to the concluding of contract with the supplier. And the last one is other non-tariff barriers. In this, there are many other non-tariff barriers such as health and safety regulations, technical formalities, environment regulations, embargoes, and etc. So, example of non-tariff barrier is can be in December 2017, the United Nations adopted a round of non-tariff barriers against North Korea and the Kim Jong-un regime. UN regime. The non-tariff barriers included sanctions that cut exports of gasoline, diesel, and other refined oil products to the nation. So they also prohibited the export of industrial equipment, machinery, transport vehicles, and industrial metals to North Korea. The intention of these non-tariff barriers was to put economic pressure on the nation to stop its nuclear arms and military exercises. So here are some examples of non-tariff barriers that to trade that can rise from. So the first one is import bans. Next is general or product specific quotas. Next is complex or discriminatory rules of origin. Next is quality conditions imposed by the importing country on the exporting countries. Next, unjustified sanitary and phytosanitary conditions. Next is unreasonable or unjustified packaging, labeling, or product standards. Next is complex regulatory environment. Next, determination of eligibility of an exporting country by the importing country. Next comes determination of eligibility of an exporting establishment, firm or company by the importing country. And the last can be additional trade documents like certificate of origin, certificate of authenticity, etc. So I'm done with my topic, and now Tulika will continue with the further topics.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here with the benefits of the trade barrier.
Come in video. Hello, come in video.
Okay, sir. Trade barriers provide many benefits, like they protect homeland industries from competition by increased consumption of local goods. Duty tax eh, increases the duty tax increases the overall cost of imported goods and services. When a government levies this tax on imports, it aims to discourage local consumers from importing. As a result, the consumption of locally produced goods increases since there are few substitute or alternative goods. The gas user tax imposed by the United States government on inefficient foreign made vehicles manufactured locally, many consumers will therefore go for the domestic cars market. Next one, they protect jobs by increased domestic employment. As the compensation of locally goods increases, so does the demand also increases. To satisfy the growing consumer demands, domestic producers have to produce more products. This leads to the creation of more jobs. With more job available, unemployment rates will go down, and the previously unemployed people will have to income they can use to improve their welfare. Next one is they provide extra income for the government as enlarge as enlarge national revenue. Levying tariffs on imported goods and services is a strategy government can use to increase national revenue. The duty from importers goes directly to government revenue collection agencies. Next one, they increase the number of goods people can choose from. Next, they decrease the cost of these goods through increased competitions. Next, enhance national security. The national security of a government that heavily imports military weapons can be compromised should the exporting countries restrict the export of weapons. To prevent this from happening, a government, especially that of a developed countries, tries to encourage domestic production of defense equipment. For example, in 2013, the Obama administration issued an executive order banning the re-importation of military weapons that had previously been exported from the US. The goal was to keep them out of wrong hands and the subsequently enhanced national security. Improved consumer protection. The government sets imports regulation on some consumers goods to ensure they are safe for domestic use or consumptions. When importing foods, medicines, or cosmetic into the US, for, for instance, importers must ensure the manufacturers, producers, or handlers of these products are registered with the US Food and Drug Administration. There are some Next topic is the cost of the trade barriers. There are some some disadvantages also of the trade barriers, like barriers result in high cost. Trade barriers result in high cost for both consumers and companies, as many manufacturers or distributors you may need to pay more for the goods required to run your business smoothly. Second, limited product offering. With the free trade, consumers have access to more products than ever before, including high-end goods that were not otherwise available in their regions. Imposing trade barrier, the opposite effect. Now, the increase in import cost translate into a limit choice of products. small businesses might not be able to offer to pay these costs, so that they will offer few goods. Despite this fact, import restrictions remain high in developing countries, especially East and South Africa. Next is loss of revenue. Many companies make their money off international trades. Automobile manufacturers, for example, sell cars in foreign markets. Trade barriers can limit their availability to export products, leading to loss of revenue and decreased profit on large scale. Trade barriers affect economic growth. Next, fewer jobs available. Nowadays, many organizations have offices and factories in multiple locations across the world, which allows them to employ locally and pay higher wages compared to their nation's average. Trade barriers limit their expansion and affect the labor market. As a result, fewer jobs will be available for those living in developing countries. Next is higher monopoly power. Free trade promotes competition among different companies and countries, which offers locally companies to keep products price at a reasonable level. Trade barrier have the opposite effect. They increases monopoly power and limit consumption, allowing product to choose higher price. Additionally, limiting the competition leads to inflation, causing a decline in customer spending power. It might also stuff innovations, since protectionism provide no incentives for a company to invest in technological advancement. So, since there is less incentive to provide supervisory products quality will deadline over time. Next, there are some few examples of the trade trade barriers, like first of all, the German purity laws. Beer. German required the production of beer to adhere its purity law. The law originally implemented to Bavaria in 1516 and eventually became law for newly unified Germany in 1817. Made many foreign beers unable to sold in German as beer. This law was struck down in 1987 by European Court of Justice, but is still voluntarily followed by many German beverages. Next one, New Zealand's apple count for a third of its agriculture exports, but have been banned from Australia since 1921 due to fear about the spread of the blind, a crop pest. Next one, the Philippines mangoes and bananas have to met strike met strike phytosanitary requirements for the US and Australia. Here I end my presentation with the few words of the James Forrestal. He says, for the new way in which a durable peace can be created is by worldwide restorations of economic activity and international trade. Thank you, everyone. थैंक यू सर। हमारी प्रेजेंटेशन ये ख़त्म हो गई सर।